Oh, yeah.
I find it funny. The boys were all showing me the posters they were making of West Central Valley versus.
Well, I was going to say, first play of the game was 17. Good. Oh, you did?
And a good morning, time for the sports section, live from Brothers Market here in beautiful downtown Sigourney. A nice sunny fall day here in Sigourney, Iowa. We are at Brothers Market, and we're starting off there with our digital deals of the week. Rick Landgreed, the store manager, not in the store today, so we're going to throw this up instead. Digital deals of the week. Make sure you download the Brothers Market app for all sorts of fantastic deals. You can see some of the things going on, again, with the app. Download that Brothers Market app and take advantage of those deals and much more at our sponsor for the sports section, live at Brothers Market. All right, let's take it to Alan and Bruce for the start of the show. Guys, take it away.
Morning, Steve. Nice sunny morning. I see you got a little sun in your eye there.
Yes.
We're in the Busch Light section here today. Steve's Rick's kind of upping it on us here.
I thought you were going to say I was starting early this morning.
No, I kind of wish I had as much energy as you do in the morning, though, Steve. Every morning I watch you, you got so much energy, and
Fake it till you make it.
yeah, I just
Well,
feel.
if we drank a 6-gallon of Mountain Dew every day, we'd probably have energy
Well,
too.
that's true. Maybe that's the key. So,
As I'm slugging it down.
anyway, since Rick's not here, I wanted to remind everyone 50-cent wings again
Hey.
today for the third week in a row. So, if you see a for sale sign on Brothers Market, it's because the SK Cobra is taking them out of business. So, anyway, Bruce kind of had our first round of playoffs there last night, and if you got any upcoming scores of interest, maybe that.
Yeah, SK got a big win last night. Some of the interesting 1A scores, potential opponents for us. West Branch beat Pleasantville 35-20. Columbus Catholic handled Pocahontas pretty well, 47-6. Durant won. Grundy Center won 50-14 over Cascade. Regina beat Eddyville 48-20. South Hamilton beat Denver, which kind of surprised me. I thought Denver would win that one. Pella Christian won over Ogden 43-0, which was kind of a shocker also. And the big score that really shocked me last night was an 8-man. Iowa Valley beat BGM 78-77.
I would really like to know, just kind of like me and Steve were talking, of how that game finished. If it was, to go for 2 for the win, or a blocked extra point, or what happened.
All I
there.
know is on the line score, Iowa Valley scored 24 in the fourth quarter. So I'm guessing they went for 2 at the end to win that. I looked up the stat lines on that. Iowa Valley didn't have anything in yet, but BGM had their stuff in. Bo Burns had 444 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, and 265 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns.
Wow, that's got to be an athlete of the week for the state, I'd say.
I mean, most kids want those stats in a career, in a year, let alone one game.
I guess one score that kind of stood out to me with Coach Weber standing right here was Columbus Junction lost to Mac Valley. Actually pretty big, and that one really kind of shocked me. And I don't know with Coach Weber coming up here if it kind of caught your eye or not, but that one really surprised me. I guess I was looking for maybe Columbus to kind of make a run in the playoffs there, but.
Yeah, that's all I got for score. I know Oski lost last night, didn't make the playoffs in 4A. So other than that, that's about the only teams around here. We'll talk about the Linville Pekin score when Coach Weber gets up here.
Sounds good. And then I see our Rick Landgrib fill-in picker just walked in. So we've got 2 guest pickers today. So Coach Weber.
Morning, Clint.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Coach. Unfortunately, Coach, game must have not quite went the way you wanted last night, the way to finish the year. But Pekin finished the year with a 6-3 record, and you know what? Absolutely nothing to hang your heads on from the last 3 years of where you started and where you've built that program. I guess if you want to just kind of fill us in a little bit on the game, I knew we played that Linville-Sully team when we were in junior high for 2 years, and that same bunch, and they embarrassed us, and so we knew they were good. I didn't know with the Noun Harder kid out if how it was going to be, but I kind of went into that game thinking we talked there last week about the line play and stuff. So I don't know if they size wise they was a little mismatch for you, but I thought you had the athletes though to match them. So if you just kind of want to go through the game.
Yeah, obviously hats off to them. They deserve credit. But I'm going to give our kids credit this morning, especially since our season came to an end. I did tell our team before we started the game if we could finish drives and win the turnover battle. Those are 2 things that you probably could win the game with. We tied the turnover battle. We turned it over twice. They turned it over twice. We had the ball inside their 35 or 40 twice. We forced them in their first 3 and out of the season. We were off to a hot start, and we just thought if we could get one of those 2 scores or even 2 and get up 7-0 or 14-0, it probably would have went in our favor a little better throughout the game. It was kind of a slow-moving game, though. There just wasn't a lot of scoring. Most of the game was 22-6, to be honest, and they got one late on us. We weren't able to put enough, more than 4 or 5 positive plays on offense together. Offensively, weight-wise, I thought our line matched up pretty well with them, but they had a lot of length on us, and anytime you're a defensive or offensive lineman with length, sometimes they get enough separation that I would say, we got beat on the line of scrimmage probably more times than not last night. But, that's not a knock to our kids. It's just every game's different on who you see. Skill-wise, we ground out some hard yards. We had a few big completions in the air, and we threw a couple small trick plays late in the second half trying to make something happen, and didn't intercept it, but just plays we had to take chances on. We were down 2 scores, and we had to try to make something happen. But at the end, it just wasn't enough. Super proud of our 5 seniors and everything they've brought to us, and Linville moving forward, they're a ground pound team that probably be competitive in the next round.
And you want to just mention your seniors here and just maybe talk about them just a little bit.
I was going to do.
This is your last.
Isaac Gentry, you guys know how important a place kicker is. He was able to add just a more consistent point after touchdown benefit to our team this year. He did a great job putting kickoffs out there. Tanner Adrian, just a motor on the D line, smaller kid, but hard to block because of his size and his motor. And then Declan Hampton, one of our split outs, touchdown last week, and a lot of catches this year. Sven Dahlstrom obviously is a big deal. He caught a lot of balls and ran a lot of balls for us. And Jackson Kirkbride, another kid that he laid it all out there on defense. So just make sure I didn't miss that. Gentry, Tanner, Jackson, Declan, and Sven. Yeah, sorry. That's the last thing I'd want to do is forget someone. But my mind's all over the map this morning a little bit. So, but yeah, super proud of those 5 guys. Everything they've gave to the program, and they felt it last night. And I encouraged the whole team, but especially the juniors through freshmen who are going to be returning to try to bottle that feeling up when, the other team's playing music and celebrating, So hopefully they can remember that next year and be able to, find themselves on the other end in the playoffs next year.
So you mentioned your 5 seniors, so I assume you got quite a bit of your starters coming back, quite a few juniors and sophomores coming back. What's your I know in wrestling everybody says practice starts the day after the state tournament ends. Football's kind of the same way if you want to build a culture to be, competitive year in and year out. What's your upcoming classes look like, and what's your numbers you think you're going to look like next year?
Yeah, the 8th grade coming in is a little more of a balance. There's some line, there's some skill. 9th grade's heavier on line, and that's kind of why we're in the struggle we had with JV this year. Is we had a freshman playing varsity this year, and we didn't have enough freshman hands to fill the gap with JV. So, but there's more numbers coming in than there are going out, which is probably the biggest thing overall. I think that showed last night, just not having enough numbers to plug in as substitutions. That really hurt at some point. But yeah, and then obviously the next season starting, a lot of that is just being multi-sport athletes. You guys coach track and all that. That we've got to have kids that are stepping up and out for basketball or wrestling, and track's really important for overall athleticism. So the day start the next, or the sport starting the next day, to me, is obviously staying in the weight room, working hard, but just being involved with other things,
Right.
and not just hanging out for 6 months, 7 months till some football actually starts. So
It doesn't matter what you do, just do something.
absolutely.
And is there anything else you coach down there, Coach? Or
Nope, just full-time. My full-time job is strength P. So we do speed and strength training, and we got a great track program, as people know. So I don't have I don't want to say a headache. I don't have the obligation of having to implement all the track work with a lot of our football athletes in the spring, because it's already in place.
so the returning guys last night, I mean, are you giving them a little bit of a break and then say let's get back after it, or is it just kind of on them? Or
Well, yeah, so it's a little bit different than you have off-season weight or outside of the school weights. They're with me every day, but we'll have a kind of a 2-week transition block here where we focus on making sure kids are healthy and taking care of some of that, and then the kids that aren't out for basketball or wrestling, they'll going through a hard off season. The other ones will do some maintenance stuff and still work on building strength, but they got to be fresh for winter sports. So, yeah, they'll be active pretty quick, and hopefully nutrition and the things pick up on that too. We got to get bigger.
yeah. Well, Coach, sorry for the season to come to an end. We hated to see that because, as well as anybody, I mean, we were behind you the whole season and rooting for you guys. But congratulations on your season. I know you're rebuilding that program down there like it should be. And, thanks for coming in all season. We appreciate your time. And I know a lot of the viewers, appreciate you coming in and talking. And they were very interested in Pekin football. So
Thanks for having us. I know a lot of people say they watch it each week and have a lot of fun with it. So Rick's been super supportive of us in a number of ways this year with meals and helping out with our weekly scout books and, your guys' support. We're all in it together at the end of the day, and appreciate everything.
you bet. Well, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Clint. Thanks for coming in all year, and we really appreciate it.
All righty, that is Coach Weber of the Pekin Panthers. And as we wait for our next guest to come up, we'll focus on our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinic's Athlete of the Week, as voted on by our viewers on Steve Shetler Media, and that is Reagan Molinex of Tri-County Volleyball. Reagan, a heck of a volleyball player for Tri-County, and she was voted. She got nearly a quarter of the votes for this week's poll. So congratulations to Reagan. We saw her last night, and I believe Reagan's going to be part of our one of our upcoming shows here in the next week or two for the sports section. So again, our Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics Athlete of the Week, Reagan Molinex of Tri-County Volleyball. And look for our next poll to go up and be live starting on Monday morning. If you are a coach, a parent, or a fan, you can get your Athlete of the Week nominations in starting over the weekend, anytime now. Just send me a message or an email, and you can get your nominations in for the Athlete of the Week, brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics. Again, Reagan Molinex of Tri-County Volleyball, this week's Athlete of the Week. And let's take a look at some area scores from last night. Sigourney Keota over West Central Valley, 52-7. There should be a 7 on the end of that West Central Valley score. I left that off. My apologies. SK 52-7. It was Linville-Sully over Pekin, 28-6. Mediapolis beat Anamosa, 28-21. PCM defeats Interstate 35 Truro, 42-0. Van Meter beats up on Albia, 56-7. Mid Prairie over Northeast, I think, 49-18. Congratulations to Mid Prairie. Iowa City Regina, 48-20 over EBF. Pella Christian blanks Ogden, 43-0. Iowa Valley and BGM, that score crazy, as Bruce and Alan were talking about earlier. 78-77. Insane score there. And then Gladbrook Rhinebeck over Montezuma, 64-18 in some playoff action from last night within our area. So our scores from last night. And if you guys are ready, let's take it back to Alan and Bruce along with Sigourney Athletic Director, if I can talk, Athletic Director Lee Crawford here on the sports section.
Thanks, Steve. Two things here. One, it's a little hard to focus when Neil Crott from Neil's Garage Sales is staring at you. And also, I would like to send out a congratulations to myself for choosing the first score of the game last night for the Sigourney News Review, and I won some free goodies off of that. So anyway, and I almost picked the correct score. If we wouldn't have kicked the field goal and went for the touchdown, I would have had the correct score too. But
way to go, Alan.
Yep. So
he's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for the applause.
We're in
there.
the presence of greatness.
All I need is my taller chair right now.
I just noticed there's some pumpkin spice rolls and Christmas things.
I've been looking at them.
Been staring at those too, or
all right,
moon pies.
We got Athletic Director Coach Crawford here today, just to kind of review and talk about the fall sports. We're into the playoffs for football. Volleyball still going. Cross country just finished. I guess all around here, just for us, pretty proud to be a Savage right now because I think and a Cobra, with the cross country, the volleyball, and then the SK Cobras going on. I think sports are going pretty well right now, and even Keota volleyball finished well, had a very good season. So we just kind of get your output on the season and where it's going. And
we talked earlier about us starting on the culture of our school and the culture of everything around Sigourney and Keota and how that kind of expands a little bit. And you can go back to Coach Howard with football, and we've tried taking that a little bit and kind of expanded it to make sure we kind of keep the same expectations and standards as far as all of our stuff throughout the fall, just to have a good culture and get our school year started off on the right foot. And we had parent-teacher conferences the other night, and parents were really happy, I think, with where their kids are at academically and all those things. And things are just those two things kind of coincide a little bit for us. And the football season started off a little slow, obviously, with PCM, but one thing I noticed, I was looking at scores this morning, and half of our schedule is in round 2.
Wow.
If you have PCM, Mid Prairie, Pleasantville did get beat, but Mediapolis won. All those, half of our schedule. So our schedule for football was
a gauntlet.
What was a gauntlet at the beginning, and I think it proves the worth of our kids, the efforts that our coaching staffs have put in, and then on top of that, all the support that the football team has gotten, obviously, with parents and community and all those things. So it's been a whirlwind somewhat. It's kind of fun, you know, who would he play next? I think I was asked 2 or 3 times just standing here already.
I'm sure, yeah.
Who's next? You know,
Yeah.
and that comes out at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And but yeah, there's a lot behind the scenes with all of that stuff that happens. You know, I have a list ready for you of everything if you ever ask, but
Go on and read it if you
I
want.
mean, just, you know, there's a lot of people to thank. You know,
Yeah.
Secretaries, you know, Cassie Mitchell and Angela Stegenberg, and you know, just the support from Shannon and you know, our, you know, Superintendent Hatfield and the board that for everything that goes on at school, and their trust in us, and you know, that makes a lot for my job easier
Yeah.
when those things are happening. So, you know, on the volleyball side of things, you know, Sierra and Sid I think they've done a decent job, a great job actually. They lost their setter at the beginning of the year with Brooklyn Hemsley. Ava Finneran has stepped up there. You know, we've got some very good hitters. And it was just good to see, you know, they've put a lot of work in. I think one of the girls told me that we've been doing this since June. You know, and you think about the time and the effort that they've put in to make their season successful. You know, it's great to see, you know, when that all comes to flourish, you know. And so they'll have a BCLUW on Monday. They're 32-10. And all I know about them is they have a good freshman hitter right now. So I'm really hoping, you know, if our schedule might be a little tougher, you know, when we go up there. It'll be interesting. Their AD I went to elementary school with back at Ackley, Geneva, so I'll get to see him and talk to him. But I you know, kudos to our volleyball team and everything they've done. They've, you know, all the time they've put in. So, and then you said cross country just wrapped up. You know, we had Addie Yates and Rihanna and Chloe Wilson on the girls' side. You know, finish some stuff for the season, and then. Troy Klett and Dawson Meyer. I'll guarantee you the times that they got at the district meet probably weren't what they actually wanted. I mean, everyone wants to qualify for state and do that, and it's just in Class 1A for me, it's really tough. You know, I think there was 20-some teams there in Iowa City yesterday, and if you figure, you know, in Iowa City, Regina's running on their home course, and it just. You know, going through the years of back when Tyler ran and even before that, it is a tough thing to do as qualifying, you know, for the state district, for the state qualifying meet. So that's a tough deal. Anything else? You guys got questions?
Oh yeah, well.
Okay, we got
Oh
questions.
yeah, we got questions.
We got questions.
We got plenty of questions.
I know one question I don't want to answer. So
Who we got?
who we got?
You stole that from me because I was going to ask him.
You know,
So what's your thoughts? We know who won. We know who lost. I mean, you deal with the state quite a bit, so
Yeah.
I would imagine
Yeah.
you probably have more insight on what their thinking is than anybody around here. What's your thoughts on this?
I'm hoping I got a lot of friends. Let's put it that way in Boone. How about that?
Well, they seem to like you.
They
out
seem
there.
to like me. So
Southeast Iowa High School,
middle school.
or junior high athletic director of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
from,
so
that's from
there's
the
a
association.
congratulations right there.
That's from the association.
you.
Puts
You
him
bet.
in the running
Appreciate
for
that.
the statewide
Yep.
junior high athletic director of the year.
Yep. So
And that's why we have the junior high football schedule the way we do, because we have the man that we work with. So we have
We
an
do.
excellent schedule.
I know a lot of people. My wife tells me I know a lot
That
of
helps.
people. It
That
helps.
helps.
Helps have some friends out there. So who are we gonna play? You know, I've seen a bracket. I will tell you that. I'm not sure if the bracket is legitimate or how they built the bracket. I will say that. So, you know, if you looked at that bracket, you would say, you know, if the ones all win and the twos or threes matchups, there's no upsets, then the bracket would work.
Right.
But you know, as everybody, you know, the state can do whatever they want to do.
Yes, they can.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I don't know how they work it if, you know, district teams don't come back against their own district, or they're going to flip-flop that. So, I mean, you know, we could have Pella Christian back. We could have Wilton come to town. You know, you could have Waterloo Columbus coming to town, or Dyke coming back down. So, it's just, you know, there's like 5 or 6 teams out there, you know, I was kind of looking at. I'm sure Adam Sellers has probably got it narrowed down by mileage and time. And
I'll bet he didn't even go to bed last night.
Probably not. Probably not.
So-
He's
We're
still
listening
punching
at him.
numbers.
so, I mean, there's a lot of options. Just hoping for the best scenario for us. I did, being the AD, I've been told that we have to watch the weather, and next week's weather is like, on average, 50 to 60% rain every day of the week, and the high is 58 next Friday. So, if it's a passing team, let's have some fun, right? So
So if Columbus Catholic wants to come to town, let them come to town.
let them come to town. And Wilton's a passing team as well. So, I talk to their baseball coach about every other day. So, get a little insight there and what's happening with them. So, who knows?
So for sure, second round we're hosting.
We will be hosting.
And then
Yes.
how would third round go?
We will be hosting.
Okay.
We should be hosting. There's only really two teams I believe we figured out is because it's alphabetical order from top to bottom.
Okay.
And someone's going to go, well, R becomes before S with Regina, but Regina had a district loss to West Branch, and we didn't have any district losses. So the only two teams we could not get matched up with are Grundy Center and Emmitsburg.
Okay.
Otherwise, we will be hosting the quarterfinal as long as we win.
Okay.
So,
So then on, kind of past the fast or the fall teams here.
Yep.
I mean, upcoming, wrestling getting started here, basketball getting started. I mean, just kind of fill
Yep.
everybody in on kind of
sure.
our winter sports here.
Yeah, we started working on gym schedules probably about 2 weeks ago. I sat down with Coach Moore and Coach Eslick and started doing some things. The girls basketball team with Coach Moore they've had some open gyms minus the volleyball players. Obviously, we want to keep the volleyball team playing volleyball. So they've had some open gyms, started to shoot. I know Coach Eslick has some open gyms scheduled. I think sometime this week or next week, a little later, so some of the football boys can get in there and shoot. A kid like Isaac Bruns is pretty important to our football team, and we don't want to get him hurt, but we do want him to get some shots up here and there. Right. So, and all those kids, obviously. So we've started some preliminary basketball things. The basketball schedule world is it just got crazy again. So I'll be hunting for some girls basketball games, and we're still looking for a 22nd game kind of with our boys. So kind of putting some feelers out there, trying to find a couple extra games here and there. And then, building the junior high schedule because Sierra's still coaching and she does our junior high girls. So kind of building her schedule for her and helping her out. And then we'll have junior high wrestling starting as well. But, girls basketball, we lost Rain Barthelman and Zoe Webb off our varsity squad. One went to Iowa, one went to Iowa State for academics. And some smart girls, obviously, that we need to replace on the high school team. But I feel pretty good about that. We've got a lot of girls returning and a good core of girls that I think get along, and I look for decent things there to happen. On the boys' side, you got Isaacs and Solon coming back, and then you really got a lot of opportunities for some younger guys to step up. And I'm really looking forward to watching some of them grow with the system Coach Eslick and Coach Tremmel put in. On the wrestling side, we've got Jake Moore, Reed Molnex, Brady Clark returning, Big Casino, Owen Mankey coming back. So, and then obviously, Rihanna coming back as well. So, looking for a decent season there. Talked with Coach Vanden Heuvel the last couple days. He's getting geared up, trying to get all the corn out of the field, and he's getting geared.
Sure, yeah.
He's ready to go.
I'm sure.
He's awesome every day, and he's ready to go. So, looking for good things there, and then the dark horse of the winter season might be bowling.
Yeah. That's what I was going to bring up next, so we didn't forget.
It might be
about.
bowling. We have, for small town Sigourney, I guess we have 2 boys state qualifiers coming back, in Landon Griner and Brock Alderson, and we've got most of our squad coming back on the boys' side. They should be really fun to watch as far as putting some scores up. And on the girls' side, we have Jaden Montgomery coming back as one of our girl bowlers. So. Could be I'm really hoping for a mirror season from fall to winter, and being successful and having some fun times with the kids as far as their successes.
Okay.
I know for the bowling team, I went down this summer and bowled a couple nights with Adult Youth League and bowled with Landon Griner, and I know Owen Owen has
Owen Clark.
Wells Clark. I mean,
Ty Kruger.
We've
Yeah.
got some kids that can bowl.
Yeah, there's some kids that are coming.
Back in the day when we bowled, we thought we were pretty good.
Well, I think I still am.
Go throw a ball once.
I
Because I still thought I was too.
And would you say you lasted 2 weeks or?
It lasted 2 weeks. I know. I thought I was so good. I even went out and bought new shoes, a new ball, everything, thinking this is. I'm going to go show these boys what's what.
All right, you bought in.
It didn't happen.
So you weren't Kingpin.
Was not Kingpin.
Oh, geez.
I was the guy Kingpin beat.
All right.
All right.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming in. Thanks for kind of filling us in on the fall, the winter. And we'll see you here at the end of the show
All
with
right.
our pick'em.
All right. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me. Appreciate
You
what
bet.
you guys are doing here.
You bet.
Thanks,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Crawford.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, we're in between guests this morning, and we bring Coach Jensen in. Let's once again take a look at some of the digital deals of the week here at Brothers Market. Make sure you download the Brothers Market app and get all sorts of great deals via the app. So make sure you take advantage of that. Digital deals of the week via the Brothers Market app. We are live at Brothers Market in Sigourney for the sports section. Let's go back to Alan Bruce and Coach Jensen.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Once again here, our last guest, Coach Jensen of the SK Cobras. Big 52-7 win over West Central Valley last night. Improves your record to 8-1 onto the second round. I'm sure you're excited here for the next hour here to see who's coming to town next week. Obviously, that game last night, I mean, we were talking about it earlier. The tone was set early on the first play of the game, and it just I felt like the guys coming out last night, were excited to play, and it just felt like we were ready. We were ready to play.
They looked very focused.
Yeah, I think the end of the regular season, the lulls. It's we knew the competition we were facing wasn't up to necessarily par, and those couple weeks of practice, I didn't feel great. We might have one good night and then a not so good night, but this week there was just the excitement, and naturally with the new season starting, now we're past the regular season play. Now it's you win, you move on, you lose, you're done. And I think we had a sense of urgency all week long, and really got after each other. And it was good to see that translate and go to the field, because even our first kickoff, we went down there and crushed them out of bounds. And then first play from scrimmage, they ran a motion from the receiver to the right, pitched it back left to the tailback, and Jake was just sitting on that and just absolutely crushed him. And Schwabe jumped on the fumble, and a couple plays later we're up 7-0 before you could really take a breath. So we played physical and we preached it. We saw this West Central Valley play some teams that were physical and didn't do overly well, so we knew get on them, punish them, just break their will. And I think we might have done that that first play, but the first quarter, nothing went wrong. Nothing went wrong. 28-0. Defense was just hammering them. Offense was rolling. I think we sent that message loud and clear that this is Sigourney Keota, and you better come to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the biggest thing in all football games is turnovers and penalties, and don't beat yourself. Last night, I don't think we had any penalties, did we? And we had 0 turnovers. We may have had one.
We had the
penalty.
one that offset with theirs.
Yep. Yes, that was it. So the discipline. Talk a little bit about the discipline of your team and the focus of them.
Yeah, I think we keep a goal board running throughout the season, and one of the columns is turnovers, and for offense, creating turnovers on defense, and the 2 games that we either lost or almost lost, we had 2 turnovers each game. Every other game we've had 0, and on the takeaway side, we maybe had a couple in those close games. The other games we had 2 to 3 even 4. And that's huge. You give the ball to the other team, that's other opportunities for them. You take it from them, that's more opportunities for you. But the guys have done a great job of being fundamentally sound and not turning the ball over and covering it up when you're getting tackled. Don't let people come and rip at it. And defensively, started getting quite a few more fumbles. Recovered 2 last night, Schwabe and Jake Moore, and then Cal Clarahan with a pick. So we're +3 there, and ultimately those 3 led to 21 points. So it's huge, but the guys are just mentally focused, fundamentally sound. They understand they don't have to do too much. We've all got to play together. You just do your job. That's all you got to focus on. And when we do that, we look pretty good.
They were very disciplined last night. I know West Central Valley ran that front where every time Sawyer say down, that nose guard would flip. And usually, I don't care how disciplined you are, there's a false start on that. We didn't have one last night. Very disciplined team.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought our lawn did a really good job of picking them up, and they created some problems for us with their cutting. Just cutting our offensive line, trying to keep them from pulling and whatnot. But we worked on it in practice. We knew potential for injury when you work on that stuff, but we saw them do it every single play against South Hamilton, and we run. If you look at South Hamilton and us, we looked similar, and so we knew that was going to be coming. So we did work on that. We tried to stay a little safe with it, but our line did a great job of handling business up front to really give our backs and quarterbacks and receivers the ability to go just make plays. And it's not easy when guys are just chopping at your legs, but we focused on staying low. You instantly see his head drop and start diving. You just crush him, and they did a pretty good job of that.
Yeah. One of the guys that I really thought stood out to me last night, and I talked to him a little bit after the game, was Isaac Bruns. I thought ran as hard last night as he probably has all season. I don't know if he's had a few health issues or what, but I really just felt like that was the Isaac we've been looking for. Was last night. I mean, he lowered his head and was punishing the tacklers, and we could hear it up in the press box of just the smacking around. So
I think his just mental physicality has raised this year. Early on, got dinged up. Had the shoulder injury, so was a little tentative when running, so we didn't really run him a whole lot. We just kept him on defense. Once he started feeling better, started giving him the ball, and but you look at any of our backs, you look at Kale, Clarahan, Cole Kindred, those guys, if they're people are in front of them, they're just lowering their head and banging, and Isaac has the big play ability. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the vision, he's got the agility. Now he's adding that physicality piece, and that's going to be a dude that's going to be tough to stop. When he can get outside and go, or he can run through you, I don't know how you defend that, but I thought our backs are buying into that physicality of our line. We ask our line to be physical. We ask our backs to be physical, and I think everybody we give the ball to is just willing to either try to outrun you or just run you over. And that sends a strong message to anybody that's trying to make a tackle. You better be ready to go. And I thought he did a good job. That one, he went into the end zone, kind of got bottled up, bounced it out, linebacker coming, and just lowered the boom and ran him over. So, I think he's definitely finally got that piece in him, and that's gonna be a tough dude to stop.
Yeah, and on the defensive side, just a kid that we coached there too. That I remember we had a hard time ever getting in the game, but he has put so much work in. Aiden McGuire is just
absolutely
a rock anymore, and that kid is in so many plays, and just I feel like he's had a really, really good senior campaign.
Absolutely, I think I remember, his sophomore year, watching a JV game, and he was playing D end, and they ran a quick screen to the outside edge, and he shot his hands, was going for the pass rush, realized the ball went out, and sprinted out and made the play. And you could just see a lot of kids aren't doing that, and from then on, like, okay, I feel like he's gonna eventually get that. And I thought last year really stepped up and created his name, and this year, I mean, I don't know what you do. You got him on one side and Evan on the other side. those are 2 DNs. Like typically we're
Yeah.
looking at, okay, what DN can we run at? If I'm looking at our defense, I don't know where to run because I don't want to run at either of them.
I'll tell you what. You be the offense and looking at our defensive line in general. I'm going to tell you what, we got some dudes.
Yeah,
We got some dudes.
Yeah, I mean, and the starters are out there are all seniors. I mean, they've been in the mix. They've been doing this, and they're just thriving. They really are thriving.
Well, and you take 6 guys to block your 4 front. Caden Clarahan and Schwabe are just smiling. I mean, because you don't want those dudes running at you either.
Yeah, I mean, and that's our defense. The D line, we don't expect to make a lot of tackles. You just have to shoot your hands on your guy. Don't let him release the linebacker. If we don't get anybody to linebacker, our linebackers are going to go make plays. And those guys just understand it's not about making the play. It's about not letting anybody go through your gap. Hold your guy down and let those linebackers and safety scrape. So,
Well, and I will say I emphasize that so much at the junior high level. I'm like, I tell the defensive line, I don't care if you make a tackle, but you make sure he goes to a linebacker.
Yeah. I mean, that's the name of the game of football. I mean, watching on film, West Central Valley, they were gap shooters, and we've seen that in the past, and we knew that that doesn't necessarily work. Lower ages football, a lot of times it's just go through the gap and go. Well, if you get too far upfield, where's your run fit?
Right.
Your gap's open because you shot 3 yards upfield. So, they do a good job of just understanding. They might not be the ones to get their name in the paper, but the guys behind them might. And if they do, it's because of those guys up front.
And one last thing that kind of stood out to me there last night is on your special teams. Just some of the younger guys you got in there that are really busting butt to be on the squad and making plays. I mean,
I know you said that very first kickoff. That was Aiden Galindo that laid that lick, a freshman on the sideline, and that was a lick.
Yeah, I think those guys have earned it. Just when we tell guys, you got to go make your name in JV if you're a younger guy, and if you make your name on a JV, we will look at you on like special teams first and things like that, and a lot of guys might not really. Oh yeah, he's just talking. No, Ike was on. Ike Molnix is on there. We added Aiden Galindo because I watched a JV game early on, and he was always the first one down there. And all right, so we added him, and then Carson O'Rourke, same thing. Just sprints down like a madman and just causes havoc. And and honestly, we have all 3 of them on one side, and typically you might even them out a little bit, but we kept the one side solid with what we had at the beginning of the year. Kind of filled those guys in on our left side just because of the speed. We had some other guys on there that weren't able to get down there quite as fast, and I think kickoff coverage. If you're kicking the ball down to the 10 or 5, you've got to have speed to get down there because there's a lot of field in between you and them, and everybody's trying to knock you out to give the runner a lane. So we just added speed. Those 3 guys showed that hey, we've got the speed and we've got the physical ability, and I think all 3 of them, along with other guys, were making plays all night on special teams.
no, very well. Well, Coach, thanks for coming in. We'll be talking next week. I'm not even going to ask you who you think you're going to play because we have no clue.
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. But we're about an hour away, I think, from figuring out where we are going to, or who we're going to play, I guess, because we are going to host. So good luck next week. We'll be talking another victory and keep it rolling.
All right, thank you. Go Cobras.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Good job last night.
One thing, guys, I want to say is when you say Aiden McGuire's name, you have to say it, Aiden McGuire. Or a quiver of Cobras.
Quiver, yeah.
Eddie Conrad doing a great job on the PA at the SK games. As we bring in our pickers, might be picking some corn, might be picking some beans.
Sure.
Who we got? We got.
This is Rick Landgraf.
We're actually not seeing anybody right now. We're looking at our standings, but whoever we're bringing in at this point.
And then we got Coach Crawford as
All
our
right.
guest.
Pick'em standings right now.
Guest
Alan,
picker. Come on
Pumpkin
over and have a
Spice
seat.
Cellars There is everybody, after last week's results, everybody is super tight in the standings. We have a 4-way tie at the top. Pumpkin Spice Sellers, Bulldog Han, the Guest Pickers, and Riverboat Rick all at 50 points apiece. Yep. And then I gained some ground as well. Stunning Steve is at 48. So we've got 4 with 50 and myself with 48. So it is literally anybody's ball game right now as far as the Pick'em standings go. Of course, that Campus Life trophy is on the line.
I guess we should have brought that in and just held
have it on
display.
The Campus Life from 1986.
1986.
The trophy that will be the prize. I don't even know when this will end, when the Pick'em standings will come to an end, but regardless.
Whenever I'm on top, we'll just end her.
Oh, boy. So what do we got, and where do we start? Because I'm still in last, so...
So you go first. First.
Yeah, we'll go first to last.
There you go.
Should be first.
First to last or last to first?
Well, I'm going to be the last picker today. I'm going to be the last picker so I can write down who's picking what. So.
Exactly.
All right, Steve, our first game, since you're picking first,
all right,
is going to be number 7 Penn State at number 3 Ohio State.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go Ohio State. I mean, it could be anybody's, but I'll go Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Slow down, Neil.
Nice,
I'm sorry.
Nice shirt, by the way.
What's that?
Oregon State doesn't play today, just so everybody knows.
I'm going Ohio State because I've seen a picture of our 2 of our people in this squad with the nut. So I'm going Ohio State.
That's not, you know what? He just changed my mind. I was going to go Penn State, but I forgot. Me and Bruce were with the big nut.
We were with the big
nut. We gotta follow the big nut. So I'm going Ohio State.
And the big nut is the crazy Ohio State fan. Is that right?
Goes to every single game.
All right, our second game is number 17 Tennessee at number 11 Alabama.
You got to go with Alabama, right?
Do you?
I like Tennessee, but I think Alabama beats them.
I'm going Alabama.
I really, really, really like the way Tennessee's offense clicks with their head coach. It's pretty hard to go against Nick Saban, though, so I'm going Alabama.
Bruce, you picked Alabama?
Yes, I picked Alabama.
Everybody's going the same.
I'm going Tennessee.
Ooh. Ah.
I'd switch your mind there, too.
No, I don't know. I've seen Bama's not like a complete dominant this year, so I don't know. I like Tennessee. Number 14 Utah at number 18 USC.
USC.
I was trying to prep Neil.
Yeah, Lee was trying to prep me, but he didn't say anything about this game.
This game wasn't on the list?
No.
Oh, my.
Who are you picking?
I think I'm going to go with USC.
USC.
Where's it at?
USC.
I'll take the over. I will go with USC.
Well, we're still going to be
And
tied
I agree.
after this.
I agree. I'm going USC. Number 16 Duke at number 4 Florida State.
I'll go Florida State. What the heck? Or no, actually, scratch that. Put me down for Duke. I'll go with the upset.
Oh, boy.
Florida State.
Well, then I'm going to go Duke.
Head coach for the Florida State is Jay Norvell, so he's a former offensive coordinator from Arizona State, so I'm going Florida State.
I thought maybe he was a baseball player.
I'm going Florida State.
Isn't Norvell something? Was he a former Hawkeye?
Yeah.
All right.
Different one. Mike Norvell. It's Mike Norvell at
Jay.
Florida State.
Jay's the one
Jay's
that.
at Colorado State.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
We got Washington State at Oregon.
Oregon. What the heck?
Is this the same Oregon? No. This is a different Oregon.
These are
Different Oregon?
These are the
These are the
Ducks.
Ducks.
Oh.
Go
yeah.
Ducks.
You're saying go Ducks?
Go Ducks.
Yeah. Ooh, go with the Cougars.
Why are you here? Who invited you?
Not those Cougars.
Oregon.
I'm going with the Ducks.
Just gonna mute his microphone.
Minnesota at Iowa.
Oh, come on. Iowa, obviously, but it'll be like just their normal grind out game to the end, 17-14 or something like that.
The lowest over-under in, I think, NCAA history. But I'm still going to go Iowa.
I'll go Iowa.
You sound so enthused. I'm not sure. Hawks.
I'm going to go the Hawks. 10-9. It's going to be a close one today. I think. It means we'll have to stay till the end.
I always tell Stacy. Stacy and I go to the home games and be like, man, it'd be nice if we could get out of here early for a change.
Not this year, Steve.
Usually, not this year, Steve. But
Yeah.
usually, me and Bruce are so pissed off by the
You mean ticked off?
start of the
That's what he said.
third quarter.
Upset?
Yeah, upset. We'll call it. That
Angry?
we're like, let's get out of here.
We go stomping down the stairs, shaking our heads.
North Dakota, not North Dakota State, North Dakota
Okay.
at UNI. And this is I think they got equal records. They're pretty equal here.
Well, then, you and I.
How many more are there?
Yeah. This is a marathon, Lee.
The same thing except for him.
You got something to do? Somewhere to go?
I think I'm going to go North. I'm going to go North Dakota.
Honestly, I was leaning towards North Dakota.
They're the Bison.
Sure.
No, they're the
Sioux.
Or the North Dakotians. Somebody pick.
I'm a UNI alumni, so I have to go Northern Iowa.
I'm going UNI. Okay, then on our last, this will be our 2-point pick here today.
Ooh, double.
But you have to pick two teams.
Oh.
Okay? So my pick 'em here, this, of course, we had to bring up baseball because Coach Crawford's here.
Well, of course.
So
We're taking
we
care of
got
it for you.
the Astros and the Rangers and the Phillies and Diamondbacks, but you have to pick the two to get into the World Series. And right now the Astros lead 3-2, and the Phillies and Diamondbacks are tied 2-2. So
I have not watched any baseball.
that
this
makes it
year.
even better. But you have to get both right to get the 2 points.
Astros. And who's the National League?
Phillies and Diamondbacks.
Phillies, I guess. Atlanta Braves.
Rangers and Phillies.
I'm going to go Astros and Diamondbacks. I have no idea.
This is the ball that's white and has a little red laces. Okay, good.
See, that's why I like picking after Lee here, because he probably knows.
I'm taking the Phillies and the Astros. The Rangers bullpen is not very good.
That's what I
I'm
was
going to
thinking.
take the
Now you
Astros
tell me.
and the Phillies because the Rangers bullpen is not very, very stout. So that's our picks for today.
All right.
That's it.
We're done?
We're done.
Already?
Neil, any
No, I'm adding nothing to
Thank
this one
you.
today.
any
Thank you.
closing thoughts?
No,
What are you
none.
doing today, Neil?
Nothing. I'm not
Anything? Nothing?
You have been silenced.
I've been trying.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do it. We hope to see Rick Landgrebe back here next week for the sports section. We're live at Brothers Market in Sigourney. And I guess we'll see you next Saturday morning right here on Steve Shetler Media, the sports section, live from Brothers Market.
Clear.
Can we talk?
Clear.